what I said was
Something
bad.
like that. Oh, that
Chat room
yeah.
probably remembers what I said. I don't remember what I said.
Oh,
When I
yeah.
realized
That's
after it actually exited my my mouth, yeah.
yeah. I was kind of like, I'm gonna let that go. Like, oh nope, we're not gonna let it go. We're
Oh
gonna
no,
go
we're
ahead
not
and
letting that go because I
oh,
would
we're
be seeing people kind of going, if they listen to it. So
oh, we're digging deep. There we go.
yeah.
Oh goodness gracious. All right,
Hi,
come
Draven.
on, Twitch. My Twitch is acting up. There we go.
I must tweet.
I must.
We must tweet to inform you that a live show is happening right now and you might miss it. Don't miss anything.
Don't miss the next exciting chapter of Tauren Think Tank.
You haven't been here for 10 minutes? Well, we're only 5 minutes late.
Yeah. Sorry.
We're only 5 minutes late. Patiently waiting. I know.
Patience, my friend. Patience.
Oh my goodness. What a day. What a week. It's hard to believe that it's already Thursday. I don't even know where this week went. What is happening? What is happening? Why is this happening? Are you wearing an Alliance shirt today?
I am.
You are wearing an Alliance shirt.
Hot off the BlizzCon presses.
Oh, one of the new ones.
Yeah, it's one of the new ones.
Oh, nice. Very, very nice.
It's nice and it's soft too.
Yeah, I like that.
Very, very comfy. Very comfy.
It's very comfy. I like it. I like it a lot. Very
Also
nice.
got the new lanyard with the Marconi pin on it.
Nice.
It says pin collector.
It was made for you.
It was officially me, so I got that. They did that different thing where they take the entire color set of the pins and they just stuck it in one set this year. So I got that. So now I don't have to trade with anybody, but I probably still will.
You just have to trade for other stuff, you know.
Yeah, that or I could always just leave the set in there and then collect another set of 10, so I can put it in there and I can have both. So I don't know. We'll see.
Getting feisty now.
How deep my pockets can go for this, because I am like, I don't know if I can do it.
Getting feisty with that collector bug.
Yeah, it's already like they're doing the patches again for like the backpack and stuff. So I bought a few of them, and there's a couple cool ones on there.
Oh yeah.
But there's one that's the actual like BlizzCon logo. The only way to get that is to buy the baseball cap, the hat that has like the Velcro on it.
Oh, that's
$25. I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to spend $25 because I don't wear hats really, and so it's just for like little piece of that, like little bitty piece.
Oh, you know somebody's gonna try and trade that thing or sell it on eBay.
Yeah. Just if it's less than $25, I'm making. I don't need the hat.
That's the thing.
So.
Like, you're not gonna buy the hat and then not do anything with it. So you could buy the hat and then put it up on eBay if you wanted to. Is the hat sold out?
The hat's not out. The hat's not sold out, Tiber, because it's in my cart right now.
Buy hat, keep in. Yeah.
It's sitting there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's tempting.
So many temptations. I haven't bought anything yet. Nothing really kind of jumped out at me this time. So.
Me either. I mean, I got my customary poster, magnets, pins, all those kind of the normal things. And that was about it. Other than, I got the Bastion Lego and I got that. Trying to think. Yeah, that's about it. So just the standards. There wasn't really anything that jumped out at me either.
Yeah, I mean, even the HTC stuff, there's a hoodie, but I have last year's, which looks almost identical. So it was like, why do I want to buy another one? I mean, I like it, but it's not like I need 2 of them. And the shirt, it has one of those massive logos on it. Like, it takes up the entire front of the shirt, and I just don't like that because it doesn't look good on ladies, let's say, because you've got obstructions that kind of make logos
there.
Yes, like that's a great way to put it. It changes the topography of the of the way that the logo sits. And I don't like those big logos that take up like the first quarter of the shirt, or even like the first half of the shirt. So yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, not quite ideal. I did get the key art t-shirt. I always get that. Maybe one day I'll like send off all the t-shirts and have all my WoW and BlizzCon t-shirts made into like one of those quilts or something.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Do. Yeah. Thought about doing that with all my college band shirts, but my wife still uses them to go to the gym with. So that's her exercise shirts. So like, okay, yeah, I'll just leave them.
I guess that's the way it's going to be.
I'm like, okay, well, yeah, that's fine.
Well, for the first time in a long time, Marconi will be able to hear this.
Wow. I forgot what that sounded like.
I know. So we finagled a couple of things, switched our programming so that Marconi can hear the sounders in a program versus one that he could not. So far the video has been good quality, so I'm happy. And so everybody's happy. Everybody's like copacetic and happy.
It's copacetic.
It's copacetic and happy. So, chat room, are you guys ready for a show? Because it is time.
It is about time.
I'll do a little ASMR. It's time to do a show.
Hey guys, welcome back to a Tauren Think Tank. We're gonna kind of just bring it on down here for a little.
It makes me so uncomfortable when everybody does.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. I hate it.
Yeah.
And I hate ASMR. I can't deal with it. It makes my legs shake right now.
Yeah. It gives me like shivers on the back of my neck. I'm just kind of like,
It's not good shivers. I don't. It's not like.
No, it's not good shivers. No, it's like someone comes up walks up right behind you and starts whispering in your ear, and it's just like a raspy, just like, don't do that. No.
The Fit Lurk. Hi, Mr. Puma. Hi, Mr. Grebner. Mr. Puma and Mr. Grebner. How are you guys? That little lurk.
Puma and Grebner, attorneys at law.
That's the Heroes of Fitness lurk emote. That's their cat. That's their cat Shiba.
Oh, that's
He's
awesome.
the cutest kitty ever. And I love lurk emotes. I think they're the best. They're one of my favorite things because I do lurk in a lot of Twitch channels, and I hate to like, especially if it's a broadcaster that I really like or that I subscribe to, but I can't really interact. I'm like, hi, I'm lurking. I'm here. I'm lurking.
I'm here. I'm enjoying your stuff, but I don't really want to participate.
Well, most of the time I can't. It's like I'll have it on during the day while I'm working in the background. And occasionally, if they know that I'm there, or if somebody, it's like one of my people that I'm working with, and then they say my name, and I'm like, wait, what, huh? Like, I was working.
But we saw you in there. We just know you're like, I know, but I'm working. I can't talk. I'm sorry.
Wait, let me do one thing. Alexa, turn off. Okay. Because I have to tell a story, and if I say the name, it's Alexa, turn off.
Turn off the radio.
Okay, so if I say her name again, it will come up, so I can't do it.
Okay.
I will have to work around it. But it's a really funny story, so.
Oh. It's funny how she has changed our lives.
Yes.
If we have her in the room.
Yes. What's wrong with the chatty Alexa? You'll find out. I will tell you exactly why. That is there's something wrong. All right. Chat room. I'm going to write Ticky one more time. One for fun.
One for fun.
Yeah, that's usually the gambling app, but That's what we always say in our raids. Press 1 for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Look at them. They're all ready. They're all prepared. They're equipped with things and pots and things like that. Excited to see you all. We've got a fun episode for you. And oh, you ready to do this?
Yeah, I say we do it.
Let's do this. All right. Tauren Think Tank episode 290 records in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the podcast about the Blizzard gamer behind the keyboard.
It's episode 290 of Tauren Think Tank. Today is Thursday, October 18th, 2018. It is 8:15 p.m. I was checking the time and couldn't see where it was. It's 8:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time for a little bit longer in our little daylight world. Daylight savings time can go scratch. My name is Jules Scott, and with me, as always, is the man in the Alliance Blue, valiantly waiting for me to bring him into this episode. It's Marconi.
I will forever bleed blue of the Alliance. Except for my troll mage and other characters. But we want to talk about that. Hey!
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I've got a few friends over on Horde side. You know, like one or two.
One or two.
Won't really just totally just stomp all over it. But yeah, I am in my pre-BlizzCon fever. So I needed to rep the Alliance tonight. And just get ready. It's like, I'll be there in like a week and a half.
I know.
It's going to be crazy.
I know. On Sunday of this week, it will be 1 week until I am in California. And I am just blown away because we've been waiting for so long. And then now it feels like everything went on fast forward for the last month or so. And I don't know where time is going. I don't know what happens with my day. We'll get into that in a minute because, man, my world has gotten a little chaotic, but in really good ways. But
just a little bit.
But let's talk to Marconi first. Now, Marconi got to hear the sounders for this show, so we're already starting on a really good note because we switched communication software, which then allows me to route my virtual cable so that he can hear, because the other one just didn't work for whatever reason. So we started out the show great. He's hearing the sounders. We're going to be like on point. What's going on with you?
Well, you've already kind of touched on it with BlizzCon, us getting ready for that. It is the crunch time. It is the crunchy season because we are getting ready to roll out, and I cannot wait. So they did like the pre-sale for the BlizzCon merch, which is where my Alliance shirt today came from.
Yes.
So I stocked up on stuff. It's not as much as I usually do, but got ready for it so that way I don't have to lug a whole bunch of stuff back with me on the plane. So yeah, just that was one of the bigger things, is just waiting for that to come in. My poster still hasn't come in yet, which is good because I need to clear off some wall space because I am running out of room. So I've got a painting up there I need to take down right behind the camera. Y'all can't see it, but I'm going to put year 6 right there. I've got years 1 through 5 on that wall over there to my left. Year 6 is right there. And then I have no room in the room for any wall art. So I am going to be, I don't know if I can expand it to the hallway or what, but we'll see. We'll see how well that goes. Probably not so well, but we'll see. So got some pins in, got these patches in. I'm ready to do some collecting and some trading when we get there. It's always part of the fun, is joining in on all the people, kind of seeing all the pins. And that's one of the things that I like about BlizzCon, is that you can go and you see people who have entirely whole lot more money to blow on pins than I do, even as a collector. Like, I see people with like 500 pins just rolled out on these big mats.
Wow.
All the figures and everything. And I'm the kind of guy that I just want one of the set. Like, I don't need 25 tracer pins or 35 Beerstein patches. I just want one for the set. I complete the set and then I'm good. But luckily we do have people in the community like that. So if you are lacking in a pin or two here, you could definitely go up to them and trade. So it's a cool little subculture in the BlizzCon world, and one I dip my toe into a couple times a year. So it'll be
Yeah.
pretty cool. I'm looking
Awesome.
forward to that. Gosh, just prepping a lot. Getting my work schedule done. It's kind of cool because on Sunday, this is kind of what's coming up in the next 7 days, I should say, kind of for the end of the show, but I'll reiterate. I'm going to a haunted house for the first time in like 4 years, 5 years.
Oh, cool.
And I'm taking my coworkers with me. So
Wow.
I'm on our little engagement team to go out and do fun things other than, just go to work. So right now we've got about a half dozen, maybe 8 people that are going to go. Spouses are invited, all this stuff. And we're going to go to what has been called the scariest haunted house in Little Rock. So I hope I don't poop my pants. So we're going to try and not be too scared. We are having dinner right before that, so that might not be the best of ideas.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm like, well, you might want to eat light at that dinner, just in case.
I will. We're going to a burger joint, but I was like, I'll just have the salad, please. Something light, nothing big and like stomach upsetty, because I can't handle that. But I am very excited about that. I don't do scary very well, so it's gonna
Me
be
neither.
It's gonna be awesome. I think we'll see. So, getting jazzed for that. Gosh, trying to think what else has been going on. I'm kind of looking around my room trying to figure it out. I got the Lego Bastion I'm going to put together.
Oh, nice.
And I got a surprise gift from my uncle, who is a fellow, aside from being a lefty, just like I am. We're the only 2 lefties in my family, but he's also a huge sci-fi nerd and space nerd. So we've always had that in common. And he sent me the gigantic Lego Saturn V.
Wow.
Like the big mama. So I am probably going to stream the assembly of that at some point. So be sure to stay tuned for that, because that'd be kind of cool. I've never done like a building creative stream or anything like that before. So I think that could be neat.
Yeah, especially because it's a great way to just hang out and talk to people as you're building. That'd be really cool.
I could totally just have some calm music and, and just kind of be very nice and relaxed and Bob Ross about it. Just like, over here on step 5, we're going to take this big square piece and put a little, just a little wider piece, the 4 posts long thing that's over there. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. That no one would fall asleep or be totally disinterested at all. So, well, it could be a budding career in calm streaming. I don't know if there's a word for that.
A little Van Dyke brown, a little cerulean blue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and Draven Dresden in the chat room drops in the Bob Ross emoticon right there. Just like,
I love watching Bob Ross. I do. He is the most calming individual in the world.
He is, and I say that, and I have a little Bob Ross minifigure.
You do? Oh my gosh, you do. He's showing him to the camera.
He's right there. Oh, you can't. He's a little. There we go. Now he's zoomed in.
He's so cute.
Yeah. So I could narrate the build of the Saturn V rocket with my Bob Ross Lego minifigure right there. Just, hey, we're gonna put the parts right here. And so I think that, I don't know if that would work, but we'll see. I may just do a regular stream with some nice music and kind of hanging out and chatting while I work on that. So
nice.
We'll see how that goes. But I am very excited about what is to come in the next couple of weeks because of BlizzCon and just getting to see everybody, getting to see you again, Jules, getting to see, just be around my people again. I haven't really been around any of my WoW people all year. We didn't do a movie meetup. We didn't do a Nerdtacular. So it's been, it's been forever, you know? So it's going to be so good to be around my friends again. I've missed all you guys, and desperately need some friend time. So that'll be good.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. So I have been busy prepping with stuff for the holidays at work too, but I know someone in this podcast who has been doing a lot more work, constant work.
Yeah.
So Jules, can you enlighten us a little bit about that?
Well, guess who can finally tell you guys stuff? I can tell you things. It's awesome. I'm so excited I can actually tell you. So the number one thing that came out this week, which is so cool, is that I have been working for the last few months with a podcast called Nerf This. I've mentioned it many times on this show. as a contributor and doing like HGC Heroes of the Storm content. And about 4 months ago, they asked me if I would be their producer of the show. And during that time, they let me in on the fact that so it's a little bit complicated, but the Nerf This podcast was owned by E-League, which is one of the largest esports organizations, broadcasting tournaments in the country, owned by Turner Broadcasting, TBS, TNT, Turner. That one. And there was negotiations that were happening that were saying, we would like to bring in the show under our banner of E-League. But as it goes with most corporate situations, it moves very slow because there's a lot of people that have to get involved. There's a lot of discussions. There's a lot of negotiations. There's just a lot. So months and months and months went by, and we finally agreed on the name, the artwork, the launch schedule, the unveiling, and it all happened this week, which meant that I could finally talk about my role in there, which was awesome because I've been doing this work for, 4 months or so and really could not say a whole lot about it. And what that means as a producer is that I am responsible for taking care of the entire show, the development, the notes, the who is going to be on it, all of those things, and then also as a contributor as well. So, that is huge, and I am now working for one of the largest esports orgs in the world. That's insane. So
that is insane.
It's insane, and I am so stoked, and I finally share it. And people on Twitter have just been super insanely kind and congratulatory, and I cannot possibly respond to everybody. So it has been such an exciting ride, and so that news has been great. And then I have also been doing a lot of work behind the scenes with the Heroes Hearth organization. I can't quite talk about my role there yet, but there, obviously I've been doing the podcast, the Heroes News podcast, which is a part of Heroes Hearth now. And I will be doing another podcast as part of the Heroes Hearth organization as well, which will be premiering the pilot episode tomorrow. So if you guys saw that I had a green screen, I had a green screen I bought. I'm like, things are happening. Yeah, that's what it's being used for, is this podcast. And I will tell you what. So the name of the show is called The Jules and Coffee Hour. And it's with me and Coffee, who is Coffee Club TV on Twitch, is the streamer. Used to be Darth Coffee. He just rebranded. I had interviewed him on the show for Heroes News a couple of months ago. We hit it off great. And so the Heroes Hearth org was like, you two need to work together. The two of you need to come up with something and work together for this. So we've been working on it. It's going to debut tomorrow as a pilot to kind of try out the concept. And if you want to come check it out, it's going to be on at 4:00 Central. We're going to test it on Coffee's Twitch channel first, and then it's going to move to the Heroes Hearth network, which is so tomorrow. It's Coffee Club _TV. Friday afternoon, we're doing that. So that is great. Whole lot of work that's been going on into this stuff. There's more that I can't really disclose yet, but it has to do with Heroes Hearth. I'll share it in a couple weeks, probably after Blizzcon, which is cool. But considering where things had been for me and how much has, kind of, I'll just say lost. I didn't expect to lose a lot of the things that I had going on. To see where it has come is amazing, and I still pinch myself right now that I am where I am right now. So, and what is happening. So, and I want to tell a little funny story from producing the show, the E-League report last night. The show prior to this last night's episode that we recorded, I was not there for it. So the guys recorded it without me. And they did so they both live in Columbus, Ohio, so they record at Brian's house. And Seven, the other co-host, decided to give Brian a little bit of trolling with his Amazon Echo device. And so during the show, he called out the name that triggers the Echo, which I will not say, and said, "Play Dolly Parton." And so it starts playing. Of course, it's hilarious. They put it at the end of the show. So I thought that was super funny. And so during the recording of the show last night when we were getting ready, I was on video with them listening and kind of being producery, like feeding them information as they're going through before we got started. And I was making fun of them. And I said, I repeated what was saying. I'm like, yeah, so if you just yell at them and say, "Woman's name, play Dolly Parton," and it triggered my own Alexa. It's in the room with me, and they lost it. I'm like, no, Alexa, stop. She's like, oh, I didn't trigger it. I almost did it.
You almost did.
Dang it. It's so hard not to do it. It was the funniest thing I had done, and I was like, I freaked out. It didn't happen during the episode, thank goodness. But I gotta move this thing. I can't put it in this room with me anymore.
Put her in quarantine. Just like,
yes.
You go in there during the show.
What I have to do is I
away.
have to change the name. I have to change the name to something that is not that, because it's what we know. But I'll tell you what. Okay, so in the chat room they're saying name turn off lights. I was watching Coffee's stream this afternoon. And he yelled at his device to turn the AC down, and it triggered my device. I was like, "You just turned it on. You just turned mine on from listening to your stream."
Oh, that's funny.
I've done that, Draven. Draven says, "Can you ask her to beatbox for you?" It's pretty funny.
I need to do that.
Yeah.
Luckily, mine's in the other room.
So, as a podcaster, let me advise you to, as I should do, is to remove said device from your direct vicinity as you're working, or turn the damn thing off, because otherwise it can be quite fun. So.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Name yours Boris, says Tiber. Nobody else shouts stuff at Boris. That's
except
fantastic.
for Natasha.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot amazing things going on. We will, in terms of our schedule, we will have the show tonight. Obviously, we will have another one next week. And then the following week is BlizzCon, so we will not.
Mm-hmm.
We will hopefully return after we get to, let's see, like it was the 8th, I think. We will hopefully return on the 8th, as long as we are not sick. So
as long as I don't sound like this after BlizzCon.
Yeah, because that can happen. So
it can happen. Might, and does. Mm-hmm.
I didn't lose my voice last year, so.
Yeah. I don't think I did either last year. I think I was okay.
Did you get sick last year? I can't even remember. I don't think you did. I think we actually got clear of it.
I didn't get con crud, but I think like a couple weeks after that, I ended up getting sick for a few days.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. Like, it wasn't directly related to BlizzCon, but just being out in the world, you get sick, because I'm in like 3 to 5 people's houses a day and just in their enclosed environments.
Yes,
all that stuff.
with their germs. So.
Yep, with the germs in there. I go from cold AC to 85-degree thermostat houses for a couple hours and get all sweaty and then go back outside. And
yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So that is our schedule that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. But for now, let's get into the podcast. We actually have a submission for a topic that came from last week's tell us something thing that we asked Triple T.
Ask Triple T.
Yeah. And it came in late. I didn't see it because it went to Twitter, and I don't check Twitter after I start the show. So I saw it afterwards, and I'm like, that's actually a really good show topic discussion. And I showed it to Marconi. He agreed. So let's do the discussion bumper.
Let's kick around some ideas, not gnomes.
Every time.
I haven't heard that bumper for months, and it still hurts every time. Every time. That was my cousin Lenny Conan. He was not appreciative of that, but thankfully we got it in one take, so we didn't really have to hurt him much.
Yeah, at least Lenny, he's recovered by now. I mean, it's been years. Let's be honest.
The body, yes, but the spirit, who can say?
So broken. All right, let's get to the topic. We could go on like this forever. So yep. Bim, our lovely friend Bim, aka Shield Spec on Twitter, said, I know this has already been addressed on past episodes, but I could use a reminder. How do I practice empathy with my brother who got into a political argument with me on Facebook today? Yeah.
Good topic.
Good topic. Yeah, and so Bim just said, I'm glad you didn't address my Ask Triple T last week because last week was fun and lighthearted. It actually worked out really well because we haven't talked about this for quite some time, and it's a good time to do it because I think now more than ever, this is a very, very relevant situation for every single one of us.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will start with a story on this one. When I went to visit my family last month in September, the person I will refer to will be remaining anonymous. I won't give out specifically, but let's just say they're a close family member in terms of like relations. And you're having dinner, and some topic of the discussion came up around the players that were protesting by kneeling during the NFL games.
Mm-hmm.
And this family member made a snide comment to say, calling them crybabies. And I'm usually pretty level-headed, and I don't get into arguments with people about political issues. I just don't. I mean, I've really gotten to the point where I just like, if you're going to disagree with me about things, we're just not going to have this conversation because it ain't going to go anywhere. But that night in particular, and the relationship that I have with the person, I kind of snapped. I kind of lost my shit. And so I looked at them and I said, do you understand why they're protesting? And they did not. They did not. They just had their opinion about it, and that it was these people are overpaid and should just shut up and play the game.
Mm-hmm.
And my poor family is all listening to, like, I am launching at this person, they're launching back at me, everybody else is looking down on their plate. Like awkward family discussion.
Is so tender.
And
what did you do to it?
I know. This Chinese food is so good. Basically what it was. And so it wasn't my father, so my father was like, okay, let's have a civilized conversation, let's stop, let's drop it. And I was just ready to fight. Like I was just like, ugh. And then afterwards it was just like, I was just mad. And so when it comes to like social media, I don't get involved in conversations with people about any of those kinds of things normally.
Me either.
Yeah. But when it comes to it being family, because this was a direct family member, it was really difficult for me to stay quiet because I was just angry at how uninformed this person was. I didn't bother to look into the actual situation and understand it, or at least have an understanding when questioned to know exactly the reasoning behind it.
Well, and that goes for both sides of any discussion as well. I mean, we live in a soundbite culture. Mm-hmm. We don't bother to read the article. We read the headline and we're like, ha, this proves my opinion of something. Or, oh, that goes against it. Fake. Or, yeah, I'm going to retweet this because it agrees with me. And sometimes I'll look in the article and like, well, the article's misleading because they want to get more clicks. So they'll try and twist the words to make it more buzzworthy and clickbaity and shareable to like really get out, because it's about money. It's about money in the end of the day.
Yeah.
when it comes to stuff like that. So going and reading the article and doing your research is very important, no matter what side you're on. You need to have an informed opinion. Opinions are so easy to have. I mean, everybody's got one about things you don't have any idea about. But the level of ignorant opinion sucks. It's too much. With the soundbite culture and the way social media works, it doesn't foster an informed mass. An informed mass of people. It's just that takes work. That takes effort.
Yeah, and when you just said that, it bugs me too. And here's why. So I was watching a Twitch streamer recently, a younger pro player. I was watching playing HOTS, and he literally said, I guess I should think about registering to vote, but I mean, it's so hard to keep up with everything and adult about it, and like all these candidates and the things that they say, and it's just too hard to keep up with it. And my heart just sank because it was this, and because that in itself is the crux of a lot of people's situations where they literally just don't, it's too much work to go and become educated about what's going on in your world and in your country, in your town, and in your world, and the news. And and it's just like, I sit here a lot older than that person and just being like, if you don't go and express your vote on this, or at least have care about it, it's you just leaving your world up to something else that is out of your control. You have not expressed your ability to say, I like this, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Even if the
results are against what you wanted, at least every vote does matter. Whether or not you think it does, they're there for a reason. Your voice does matter. And so I'm always down for people to get educated in it. Have an informed vote. Go do the research. But I mean, they're not wrong. It is time consuming to go in and try and do the research, especially with, like I said before, the way that if you just Google somebody's name, you're going to hear clickbait titles from far left, far right, both all over the spectrum, and you don't know who to believe. You don't know what to believe. Mm-hmm. It's just, and all this information gets jumbled up and blended together, and you have to sift through it. It's exhausting. I sift through it, and it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine for someone younger and I remember when I was younger, I never voted in any midterms or anything like that. Or, I did the big presidential stuff because I was like, that's cool. I get to pick the next dude in charge. So I would vote, and I would listen to the debates and just kind of, watch the debates rather. But to be as informed about current issues as I am now, I didn't have time for that when I was younger. I was like, I got finals, man. I got finals coming up in a few weeks. I got to study for those.
Yeah, and I remember the same thing. I was the same way.
And so yeah, it's totally understandable. I feel bad for them. I wish they could have an informed decision, but yeah, it's part of it. If you want to be in the decision-making process, and we're both Americans, so we're talking about American politics, but it goes for any other democratic republic or democracy. You need to be informed about why you're voting. You don't need to just pull one lever just because they have an R or a D by their name. You need to know why that you're voting for that person.
Yeah.
I'm totally for informed votes.
And RJ Sketch in the chat room gave me something I have never even seen before, and it's Ballotpedia.org to help you with your to help you understand who is candidates, what they're running for, what they stand for. That's huge. Like that, what's the things that they stand for, the things they support, the things they don't support. Like that's the things that you'd want to know. And that's awesome. It's ballotpedia.org. So go check it out if you are on the fence about voting. I mean, we didn't want to make this a PSA about voting, but we will because it's very important right now. But to get back to the family discussion, I don't remember a time in my life where people have been so deeply divided in their stances. We've always had Democrat, Republican. We've always had conservative, liberal. Like, that's always been a thing. But I've never seen it in my lifetime be as permeated as it is. And like, here's a couple of examples. Like, this is silly, but it's so true. Like, go out on any dating site if you are single, and most people will put in their profile declaring their support or non-support for our current president.
Mm-hmm.
That does not normally happen. Like,
yeah,
it, but what it meant, and like a friend of mine who was talking to me about online dating was like, he had met a girl and he thought she was awesome. And then he's like, I can't date her though. And I said, why? And he goes, she's a Trump supporter. And I went, ugh. No, you can't date her.
Thought.
And because I'm liberal, he's liberal, like, that does not work. You are. And the thing about it was that they were so, like, that is the deal breaker of all deal breakers. It hasn't ever really been this bad in my recollection. Yeah.
Easily the last several years, it's just gotten a lot more divided. I mean, it's getting harder and harder to have civilized conversations with people or to be able to agree on things. And I don't like it. I don't like that at all, that it's become so divisive that people can't look past that and even be, for a lot of ways, be even cordial to each other. That they find out somebody thinks one way or another and they write them off, or not that they think one or another, but they're not perfectly aligned with their political beliefs. It's kind of like, you're either with us or I don't know you. And that breaks my heart, because we're so much more than that. There's a whole lot much more to a person than who they voted for, or who they think is doing a good job or a bad job in office. And it's just, it's like, I don't know. In some of it, it's just, I don't know. I can't really properly articulate it, but should be this way.
No, it shouldn't. But we live in a time where it's so extreme and so, the only word my brain is coming up with is disgusting. Some of the things that are happening, that for me, it goes down to my moral character. And to say, if someone staunchly defends certain actions that are being taken by our current president and says that it's okay, things like children being put in cages and, horrible things happening to people within our country, I can't stand for that. And I will write them off if they will staunchly support that to my face. Because to me, it's about moral character. It's about, who do you are you a good person or a bad person? And because that's the line that I draw. And so when you get into a conversation with a family member about political things, and so this happened to me early on after the 2016 election, was one of my uncles had posted the party line of, well, you may not like this president, but you should respect him because he's the president now. And I was just like, to me, that was a reaction to say, no, sir, respect is earned. I don't have to do anything to respect anyone because they hold a certain title. And so that was something where it was, I'm like, yeah, we are not going to agree on this. And I am not going to speak to you about this because we will not get along. And everybody wants to be copacetic. They want it to be like, oh, we're getting along fine. And then there's that family dinner that I go back to where my family member said something very uninformed. And I just went off because it was like, you can get yourself informed. It is possible for you to go read a couple of articles and not repeat, parrot, say the things that you think you know that you don't, but you don't know, because when I pushed them on it, they had no idea. They had no understanding of what it was actually about, except for the fact that other people had said to them these things. They're overpaid. They're crybabies. They should just shut up and play. And it was like, do you know why? Do you understand why this is happening? No, I don't care to know. That bothers me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and if they'd gone to the trouble of researching it and they still came to that conclusion, I mean, as long as you have an informed opinion, it may differ from mine, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, good Lord, I see stuff on my Twitter feed from my friends that if I said the same thing but flipped politically, I would be ostracized.
Mm-hmm.
Some of just the negative, hateful things I see.
Yeah.
And I stay quiet because their political opinion is not all of who they are. I've had wonderful times with my friends. I enjoy the time I have with them, but I'm not going to get into a deep philosophical political discussion because that's not all of who I am. It's not who all of they are. And we have lots of things in common besides that. So that's why I actively avoid stuff like that. If we want to have a nice, like civil discussion about it where no one is trying to, like work really hard to convert somebody about it, like bashing at each other. I think that if you have thoughtful, calm, reasonable discussions where you can differ on opinion respectfully, but still respect the person, I don't see anything wrong with that. Plus, I mean, if you have the chance to come together, both sides may learn something about the other, and then you kind of meet in the middle and compromise. That's where compromise is in the middle. It's not all the way to the right or all the way to the left. Like, you got to give something up on both sides. And
but you're talking about the utopia. You're talking about the let's put aside all of our differences and just get along.
Not putting aside the differences, really. It's acknowledging there are differences, but still having the decency to be nice to someone. Because at least, peacefully disagree, but still be able to, go have a beer with somebody and talk video games.
Yeah.
Because whether or not you believe one way or another, you still have things in common. You still have things you can enjoy. And by golly, that's kind of what I try to do. I keep my mouth shut online because I know it's good for me. I know that if I just open my mouth, if I try to say things flip politically than what I see even some of my good friends say online, that it's just like it's like, it's not offensive to me, but it's like, gosh, like, it's just like, it's almost like hateful. It's like hateful anger. Like, anger is fine. Anger can be a great thing, a great motivator, but just hatred, that goes past what I want to do. And that, I mean, and I'm just like, that's your thing, man. I can't, I can't do that. Like, I have too much fun with my friends in order to write them off based on something as something as in the big scheme of things with your life. And life is about relationships, that's like the quality of your life can come from really good relationships. And like, gosh, the guy I worked with for like 5 years, and he stayed in the room with me when I was traveling, and we'd go to restaurants and stuff. We differed about almost everything except for good local restaurants and music and movies. And so we concentrated on the things that we had in common, and we avoided the things that we had differences of. Now, sometimes we'd have a discussion, like on religion. We'd have a discussion. He would say something very ignorant and very uninformed, and I would be like, man, that's not cool. I mean, if you think of it this way, it's not quite that bad. And he's like, oh, yeah, man, I understand. I know you got that opinion. I'm sorry. That was a dumb thing to say. I'm sorry. And we would move on.
Oh, there you are. You were muted for a second. I don't know what happened.
Oh, I was? That's weird. Not sure why.
Okay. You're back now.
But yeah, we'd understand that we were wrong, that we were different about something, and acknowledge the differences, be cool with it, and then go get some food, and have
Yeah.
fun and laugh. And I still talk to him from time to time now. He's in Fresno right now building a store, and we were talking late at night, catching up. So, and I
what
don't
you're
know. I
talking
just,
about is the ideal, and the I think the point that you brought up, which is very significant, is that right now people will lead with their political opinion in a lot of conversations, or post it on Facebook, or express what they're thinking in the forefront. And it's either it's in your face and you respond, or you don't and you keep it to yourself. But now let's say you're at a dinner table and it comes up at the dinner table. You don't necessarily have the choice to like tune it out. Like, you can, but it's very difficult to do that versus like tuning it out on Facebook or Twitter. And
I'm good at that.
Yeah,
not tuning it out, but changing the subject, or just kind of coming at it from a different angle. Like, oh man, yeah, I don't know, why do you think they're crybabies? I mean, do you kind of like you said? Well, why do you know why they're doing it? Because I mean, I can understand where you would see it would be this way, but do you know why they're doing it? Because to me, that kind of I don't know. I'm kind of, just, me, I'm non-confrontational. I try not to get in that. But well, there's sometimes I can be confrontational, and I do get hot under the collar really bad. But like, I've had those dinner conversations, and I've had those things, and I've had people spew some nasty crap all over me, not knowing what I thought, and just like slathering it all over the table. It's getting on my fork. It's everywhere. And I just let it go. And I know that's different than a lot of people will do it. But I just, I can't speak for everybody, but I just let it go. I don't let it, I don't let it ruin my day. But I understand definitely taking a stand for things like that. And I definitely respect it.
Well, and for Bim, it's her brother. It's her immediate family member getting into an argument with her in public. And that is difficult. That is deeply challenging, because it is like, you're my family. I care about you. And when it becomes that barbed shot that comes back and forth at each other on different sides, where does it end? Where does it stop? And the middle ground would be to, I hear your side, and you listen to my side, and we either agree to disagree. That's the mature way to go about it.
Yeah.
We're living in a world right now where people are so emotionally charged and so upset and so mad and scared and all of those things that it winds up becoming a visceral reaction. We're scared. A lot of us are really, really, really scared. And when you're scared, you'll do things that are, that will cause you to act out in anger and hurt people because you're hurting. It's the natural law of how it works. That's how bullies work. When they're hurting, they snipe out at other people to make themselves feel better. So I just don't have a great answer to this, except for, because man, I was hot under the collar after that conversation. And my dad had made the mistake of bringing it back up again the next day, and then I went boom.
Yeah.
And then of course he's like, I'm really sorry that I brought it up again. I'm like, don't bring this up again if you don't want my reaction.
Yeah.
Because I will give you my reaction, and I will tell you why it upsets me, because of the ignorance of it. There was no other argument to this except for the fact that this person was parroting what they had heard from other people and had no informed opinion about the situation. That bugs the shit out of me.
Oh yeah. Well, and for Bim, it kind of depends on how the argument went. How it went, and it sucks to get into an argument on Facebook because everybody can see it. That's your friend, and they can see it happen, and they can chime in and just add fuel to the fire and call people names. I've seen just gross interactions on my Facebook feed, so it's bad. But I don't know. Empathy, I mean, it's got to, sometimes empathy, you have to kind of, for me, I have to kind of swallow my passion for it and my like that fire for what opinion I have, and let it take a back seat for a second and kind of blank slate it and kind of address the person. Like we talked before about understanding why they feel how they feel. Now, this may not be something you could do with your brother. You know, honestly, never met the guy, so I don't know. But I mean, for me, I just kind of take my preconceived notions and my ideas and my opinion, and I set it back, and I try to listen for a bit and try and figure out. And I understand that, hey, you've got passion for this, but can you see why it affects me in this way, or why I don't agree with you? Can you see why? I mean, do you really understand what all is at stake here? Do you understand all the things, not just like you said, parroting what you hear on the news or see, you know, on TV or on Twitter, or insert your favorite political, quasi-political, opinion-based website blog here? You know, it just, for me, empathy is not something that I really want, I need from other people. Really, it's not something that I want other people to have for me. I want to be the person that just goes ahead with the empathy, because I would rather be proactive in, you know, remedying the situation, making things better, like repairing some of the relationship, or I will give them the you know, I'll give them a wide berth to express themselves so that I can then understand where they're coming from. I'll let them have the stage. And it's not something I demand that you know, that here's my thing and there. You know, I would rather, when it comes to discussions like this, I mean, if I was in Bim's shoes, I'd probably try to understand why he feels that way and say, yeah, I get you, but, you know, yeah, we disagree, but I still love you and you're still my brother. You know, try to trying to figure out where the disagreement is, and if it's still at the end, that's fine.
Yeah, for me it's a little more difficult because I've been in positions in my life in the last several years where I've been um taken advantage of people for my kindness, taken advantage, you know, for, and so I keep my circle very limited of who
Mm-hmm.
I feel comfortable with having those friendships with, those, you know, conversations with. And I will write people off if they are literally just going to blast me in the face about their stuff. Because all it
Oh
is,
yeah.
I don't want to be your sounding board in that way. I do not want to be the brunt of your abuse. I do not want, you know, yes, I understand that you're
Mm-mm.
angry, but if it's a one-sided situation where you're going to just yell at me at your political ideas and you don't want to hear what I have to say about it, I
Mm-mm.
ain't going to be listening to you, and you're not worth my time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I know that sounds really harsh, but you know, yes, I have friends that are opposite of political stance of mine. Not many.
Mm-hmm.
Not many. And not ones that I trust deeply. Because for me, I have to feel like we understand each other. I have to, you know, that we understand each other as people, as humans. And if there is just literally a shout from the rooftops of my anger and my hate and my fear and all of that stuff, that ain't how I operate. So,
Yeah.
because I live in positivity and hope and empathy for others, and
Yeah.
and so that's where, it being her brother, the situation with me being a close family member, that close family member and I do not have a good relationship for a lot of reasons, and that's one of them. And it's sad, but it's true, and I had to accept that long ago. I just had to say, look, this is not going to be a relationship that is going to be a strong part of my life, because this person and I do not connect.
Yeah.
That's the reality. That's how I live my life. I do not know if that is helpful, but I'm just going to share my side of it because that's how I do things.
Yeah.
So that's how I operate. And it served me
Yeah.
well in the last several years to clean that house and not have to deal with some of the BS that I used to deal with.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, especially if someone's going to be hateful and angry and just shout at you about their political opinions. That's unattractive in any situation. It's like, okay, yeah, you voted that way. Just can you do more DPS? Can you can we go bowling or something? Can we go do something else besides that? Because I enjoy my time with you. I mean, enjoy hanging out with you. Can we do something else? It's kind of like someone that just talks about, like, if they just have one interest or one thing, and you're kind of like, can we talk about something else? Because that's not, I mean, it's your thing, it's not my thing. Can we maybe move on to something else?
See, and that's not a relationship that I would really have at that point. If it's literally like that one-sided, like that's all we have, there's not a whole lot of conversation outside of that, and I really don't want to talk about that anyway. It's not going to be a lot of conversations on, and that's purposeful because I want to connect with people on a more diverse, understanding level. And so, but when it comes to family becomes that complicated thing. I believe, and I know that you don't necessarily believe the same as I do, is that, I do not believe that family is sacred, solemn, like it's family, therefore you must love them. Like, if your family is not, in my opinion, you should cut out people in your lives if they're toxic, no matter who they are. And if it is your family, yeah. And so if it's a toxic situation, or you don't have that relationship that you're supposed to have, like a brother, sister, or, sister, or that kind of thing, you just say, I'm done with them. Mother, daughter, son, daughter.
Yeah, if it's a bad situation, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not a all or nothing thing. It's just I put a I guess a stronger initial amount of, I don't know how to say it, but like, my family is still my family. Like, there's cousins I don't rarely talk to, but I always give them a hug and I see them because we don't interact very often, but like, it's like a default setting, like my default setting is like, you're my family. I've known you since you were born. We get along great whenever we see each other. I'll like your posts on Facebook and stuff. So yeah, you're still my family. But and there are family members that I disagree with, but like, we can still go and do family dinners and hang out and talk about cool things and just enjoy celebrating each other's victories in their lives and all that stuff. It's just,
we disagree on this point, but
well, and I haven't had the situation where someone is like so different in my family that is so, it's just a different side and is, just doesn't gel quite as much as my other family does. I'm probably the anomaly, so I'm not the best one to judge on family matters, just tell you where I come from on it. But
you are definitely an anomaly in a lot of situations on that, because it is what it is, but we have differing opinions. So I think you have to decide.
That's fine.
You have to decide in terms of a relationship for Bim with her brother, what level of relationship do you want to have? Is it that we are no longer, I would have zero problem putting him in restricted status, that he didn't see my posts and therefore could not comment on them. Like, I would do that. Yeah. If my brother was doing that stuff and that was my space where I wanted to express myself, I'd keep him as a friend, put him in restricted status so he can't see what you're posting, but you haven't unfriended him yet.
Yeah. That's what those things are there for.
That's what I would do. So, but everybody's different. And my point being on it is that I don't think that you can, or is it nor your job to educate someone beyond what they currently understand. Because if they don't want to listen to what you have to say, they don't want to have that back and forth dialogue, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Yeah. If there is no willingness to come to the table to have the discussion won't happen, and you're both going to walk away crazy mad and frustrated and angry, and it's not going to do either of you any good. And so it sounds like a cop-out answer, but my world is, it's not my job to educate you. It's not anymore. Mm-hmm. I've had people in my life who have come to me and said, how do you not get into arguments with people on the social media platforms? Like, how do you not get into it? It's not worth my time.
Exactly.
Not worth my time. You come at me.
100% me.
Yeah, you come at me about something, I'm either going to ignore you or I'm going to mute you. I don't get into it with you.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. But if you enter my space, especially like Facebook is a really good example because anybody can enter my space in Twitter. My Twitter's open. Anybody can follow you. You don't have any control over that unless you block them. But on Facebook, you mutually agree that you're going to like each other and be friendly. It's a different situation. It is. Because if I post something on Facebook and someone comes into my discussion or my post and staunchly disagrees with me and insults me, that's like coming into my house and taking a dump in my living room. And I ain't standing for that.
Yeah. Just pops a squat. How's the weather?
Yeah, because it is a different relationship when you think about it. Your Twitter feed, I get random shit on my Twitter all the time where people, I'm just like, what the hell are you saying to me? I don't even know who you are. Mute. But that situation with Facebook is, hi, friend, shake hand. You're going to be my friend now. I'm allowing you into my home. Oh, that shit you just took on my floor. Hi, you're out.
Yep. Locking the door.
So the chat room is enjoying my analogy, but it's true.
It's a colorful one.
But it's true, isn't it? It's that is really kind of what it is.
Yeah, and for a lot of people on Facebook, they, I don't post a lot. I don't really see a need to for myself, but I'll see things and people will just blast out this big thing, and then they'll get some discussion at the bottom. They're like, I really didn't want to discuss it. I just wanted to vent my things. I appreciate the dialogue, but no thanks. Yeah, I appreciate you. I can understand why you'd want to come into my house and poop on my floor. It's a nice floor, but if you could just go back outside, I'd appreciate that. Pull your pants back up. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah, like take your poop outside and don't put it on the floor. And because I
don't leave it on the doorstep either.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, and it's a very different relationship in terms of conversation, in my opinion, because of the way that the social media platforms work. And I think Facebook also triggers a lot more angry discussions because you are supposedly acquaintance level or higher, that you've agreed to interact with each other. You've had a say in it. In Twitter, I don't have a say in who sees my stuff unless I restrict my account. So a tweet of mine could go viral and 100,000 people can see it and I don't have any control except the fact that I posted it. So yeah, it's an interesting dynamic and you have to think about it from the ways that we interact with people. And it will cause a more anger-ridden reaction when your brother comes into your Facebook feed and says something about a post that you put up there that staunchly disagrees with you and maybe insults you.
Yeah. Oh, and not having a character limit doesn't help either. Because you can post some novels.
Hell yeah, you can.
Just go to town on there.
Hell yeah, you can.
Too long, didn't read.
Please just put that at the end. It'd be great. So I think we've exhausted this conversation, but I think it was a good one.
I think so too. Yeah, I mean, we can't, not everybody wants to hear the discussion. Not everybody wants to come to the table and have a nice informed dialogue. And you can't help that. So putting someone in the corner for a while, like muting your brother or putting him on the block list or this, restricted list for a while, let him cool his jets till after the midterms or what have you. Then try to bring him back, see if he's not going to sit there and insult you for your opinion or anything like that. Then maybe that would work. But yeah, it's the way things are these days. I just don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, I'm looking forward
I would
to
like to
things
think so
settling down again. That would be amazing. But right now we don't live in that space, so we're working on that. Hopefully soon. But I hope this helped Bim. She was in the chat room tonight, so she got to hear the entire conversation. And you guys can trigger conversations like this by sending in your requests for conversation in the first place. I'm just going to say it because we need to get them. You guys got to send them in order for us to do it. Because you know what? Making them up now is a little harder because I feel like we've talked about, 290 different things. It's a lot. It's a lot of coming up with stuff. So yeah, I think that would be awesome if you guys are, sitting there with something on your mind that you want to get off your chest, get an outsider opinion, get some level-headed logical feedback for the most part, except for when I have a conversation over dinner with it and then I blow up, whatever.
Yeah. Oh man, this lo mein is delicious.
I think I was eating lo mein too. That's too funny. Questions at taurenThinkTank.com is our email. You can go into Discord, tinyurl.com/tttchat2. You can go to Twitter, twitter.com/TaurenThinkTank or at TaurenThinkTank on Twitter. That is us.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Get your questions in.
Yes, please send them.
We need them.
If we don't get anything next week, we will talk about BlizzCon. That's our plan, at least for now. We will talk about BlizzCon stuff. But, don't be deterred by that. If you have a burning question or topic, please send it in to all the places I just mentioned.
Or even a smoldering, slightly warm topic. We'll take that. Tepid, lukewarm. We'll entertain the ideas. So make sure to bring them in.
I think this one had a lot of smolder on it. I think it
had a lot of smolder. Yeah.
Smolder, yeah. It's a little smoldering question, Bim. So that is a show that we have produced for your ears, and Mark Conan, what's happening? I know you've already talked a little bit about what's coming up, but what's going on? Anything the next 7 days?
Starting to do a little bit more prep for the holiday season at work. It's the busiest time of the year for us, so we've been prepping. I've got a couple stretch assignments I'm working on at work, so we'll be getting those fired up. That takes a lot of my time out. But I'm doing the haunted house on Sunday, so I will be sure to tweet out and let you guys know if I poop my pants or not. I know that's a burning question that y'all want to know. So I'll make sure to tell you.
Did poop his pants in the haunted house? We'll put up a straw poll. You guys will guess if he did or not.
Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, or how long do you think till he loses control and self-respect?
It would be in the doorway for me. I can't do it. I'm too nervous. I can't do it.
I went to the local Shriners haunted house a few years ago, and one of the rooms halfway through was a whiteout room. Like, it was bright after like 30 minutes of really dark, black light accented rooms. It's just this whiteout. There's like white smoke, like from a fog machine. All the panels are white. There's a strobe light going. You're like, oh, I can't see anything. Oh, I can't see anything at all. And then just somebody in a white suit would like go rah, or like brush your hair or something. It's just like, that was the freakiest room out of all of them. Because it's so different and just like, So I'm hoping for something, after we got done, we were laughing, you're getting the endorphins are going and stuff. And so it's a fun time, but it'll probably something close to that, because I'm kind of a scaredy cat when it comes to things like that. So
and yet you're going to do it. I don't understand.
Glutton for punishment. I was like, well, this might be fun. My boss will be there. Him and his wife will be there, so I get to hear them scream. My boss told me today he's a scaredy cat too, so I get to hear my boss scream. So that'll be neat. And so yeah, we're gonna have some dinner and go to that. With BlizzCon the last couple of years being so close to Halloween or overlapping, where I'm actually there on Halloween, it's getting harder for me to properly celebrate during the month of October. So I've really had a hankering for a haunted house for like 3 years, and so I'm glad we get to finally scratch that itch. So I'm excited, kinda, because I know I'm gonna scream a few times, but just jazzed about that. Jazzed about prepping for the last bit before BlizzCon. Might be doing some Lego streams, because I think I mentioned earlier, I got the Bastion Lego from Overwatch, and I got that gigantic Saturn V. So stay tuned for that. I may do some Lego build streams. That might be a nice, neat little departure from the regular gaming world. So
nice.
We shall see.
Excellent.
What about you, Jules? I know you've got your hands full and a half coming up.
Yeah, actually, this weekend I'm going to be involved with some things with the Heroes Hearth esports team for Heroes of the Storm. They're coming to Minneapolis because the owners happen to live here. And so the team is coming here before BlizzCon for a little retreat of fun. And so I will see the team on Sunday for a little media stuff, maybe do some interviews while I'm there, get some lunch. And then on Sunday night, it's Phil Collins, baby.
Yes.
It is Phil Collins weekend. I am so excited. And yes, I am. It is. There's so much going on. It's super exciting. By next week, my hair will be redder again. I'm getting my hair colored again before BlizzCon. Nice. So getting that done. And just lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff going on. So very, very, very excited. And yeah.
Let me know how the concert goes. I know it's going to be awesome, but can't wait to hear you talk about it.
I can't wait either. So with that, we do have a /moo actually. So let me play this. We had one /moo come into our Discord, and it's from Amanda Asland, who says, my first /moo for always receiving great Triple T shows to listen to, making my boring workday so much better, and always giving me a good smile on my face listening to you two. Also getting a little bit wiser for every show. Yay! Cheers from the cold north of Sweden. Thanks so much. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amanda. That's wonderful.
That's really
And
really
hello
cool.
from the still not quite cold south of Arkansas.
Yeah. It got to be 70 degrees today in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And, but it snowed on Sunday. So, yes, it did. It snowed on Sunday.
Oh.
I was not a happy camper.
No.
but I've kind of gotten to the point where with the weather, because of the horrid winter that we had last year, I'm actually taking a stance now to just it is what it is about the weather. I can't control it. So it snowed on October 14th. Okay. That's about the best I can do for now. But I wasn't like cursing the sky or anything. Like, all right, fine, it's snowing, whatever.
Yeah,
that's where I live. It's where I live now. So there we go.
Well, and it worked out with having, like the heroes, all the team up there in Minneapolis. Yeah,
I mean,
it's strange just how much is going on with your life now in Minneapolis. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's like it's like you planned it. Like you got here, and then all this other stuff happened.
Yeah,
so that
exactly. Well, the reason that I came here is no longer here, but this other stuff came together, and life has a way of turning things around, and you just never know. You don't, and so
no, you never do.
You don't. But I think with that, we're gonna bring this show to a close. Marconi gets to hear the music while I do it, too. Yes. Like we always do. Just like this. Tauren Think Tank is supported by you, our fans. Thank you to each and every one of you who supports us every month on Patreon. If you would like to help out Triple T, you can do so at patreon.com/Tauren Think Tank.
You can, and we appreciate every single one of you. Portions of the music and sound effects heard on this show can be found at incompetech.com and freesound.org. You can also find us outside of the show on our website. That's at taurenThinkTank.com, which has all of our podcasts. There are all 290 of them. Goodness. It also has information on how to get in touch with us, too.
If you'd like to meet other members of the Triple T community, you can join our Discord server, and that is tinyurl.com/TTTchat2.
You can also like us on that place where people argue about politics all the time, aka Facebook, at facebook.com/Tauren Think Tank. You can also get into political rants at 280 characters or less on Twitter, but while you're there, go to @Tauren Think Tank for the show, go to @Jules RPG for the lovely Jules, and @Marconin Wow for me.
Just don't get into political discussions with us on Twitter. I just don't want to do it.
Yes, please. It's cat pictures and mount pictures.
Yes,
that's
please.
All mine is.
And cool stuff happening in our lives. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, chat room, for being with us tonight and hanging out every Thursday night at 8 o'clock Central. You can find us live in our lovely chat room, who gets in on the discussions every week at twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tank. We love having you here with us live. We love that you download the show. Thank you for listening, however you do it. Marconin.
Jules.
Have a wonderful week, and I will see you in 7 days.
Do the same thing, my friend. Don't work too hard, but I know you'll be very busy. And I will see you next week, and I get to see you in 2 weeks.
Oh my God! So excited! So excited! And we're excited too. We're talking about BlizzCon next week. We're really excited about that too. Till then, for myself, for Marconin, for the entire chat room, until next time, /moo everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it was nice out today. I was a happy camper. Had the windows open. It's like, and then what happens at this time of year when it gets warm up again after it's been cold is we get the little Asian beetles. They're like the ladybug things.
Oh, yeah.
And so Garrus was going absolutely bonkers trying to chase one around the house because it was just like everywhere. He's so funny, this cat. I love him.
Oh, he's such a good guy.
Will Marconin poop his pants?
Hopefully not.
Go vote. Sympathy a tied hat. Poop on my living room floor. Had some Smoulder on it. Marconin's uncontrolled pooping. We did have a lot of poop in this episode. You're right.
There was a lot
Tiber.
of poop going on here.
Well, you know, it makes a point. It
does.
sends the point home.
Poop makes a point.
It does. Poop in my living room. I'm not going to be happy with you.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, my dog poops in my living room sometimes, and I'm still happy with him. Not all the time. But just without, I mean, if it wasn't for the poop, it'd be perfect. But
yeah,
he is cute.
That picture you posted of the before and after, he looked like a completely different dog.
He does.
Oh my God.
He really does. He it's great because, you know, and now of course he's wearing his like tartan vet like sweater, like little
little dog coat.
The little coats and stuff. He's just running around, and he's just stupid cute. Like,
he is very cute. He is so cute.
Goodness.
I mean, he was cute with the long hair, and then he cut his hair, and I'm like, that is the cutest puppy ever. Like, he's
so dapper. Like, just
like when his
around.
hair is short, he is adorable. He's so cute.
Yeah, he is, and I kind of prefer him with the short hair because I mean, when he gets longer hair, he can't see; it's all in his eyes, and he's just like a mop. And his hair was starting to get matted, so it was way past time to get him a trim. So I definitely needed to get that taken care of.
What show title do you like?
Alexa triggered is kind of funny.
That was damn funny when that
happened. Either some Smoulder on it or had some Smoulder on it. That one's pretty good. I like that one.
Yeah, I think so. How about we call it a smoldering show?
Yeah, that's fine. Cool with that.
Cool. Got it.
Well, Solomil, you're my friend, so it does look just like your friend's dog. Because it's my dog.
It's your dog.
No, Draven, no smoldering poop.
No smoldering poop.
That's like when people would put like dog poop in a paper bag, set it on fire, put it at someone's doorstep, ring the doorbell.
No. Yeah, no.
No thanks.
No, thank you. That's not a cool
That's why you put one of those like ring doorbells on your door. So you make sure they won't do that. If they do, you know who did it.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, I got you.
You know who did the duty. Do your duty.
Oh, I'm hanging up on you now. All right, chat room. We're gonna go unwind, get relaxed, hopefully sleep better than I did in the last couple nights, and we'll see you guys next Thursday.
Yes, we will. Send in your questions.
Yes,
Dang
please.
it.
Yes, please.
Please.
If you don't do it next week, you'll have like 2 weeks to do it. So, but
Yeah.
you know.
But why wait 3 weeks when you can do it today?
I know.
Like,
It's like an infomercial. Why wait?
Yeah.
Do it now.
call now.
Call.
If you order within the next 7 days, you'll get.
You'll get this.
Yeah, it's so good to hear the bumpers and stuff again.
I
man.
know. See,
My memory is starting to fade.
We'll have to use Discord more often now.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back in 7 days. /boo, everybody.
/boo, guys. Have a wonderful weekend and a great week. It's good to see you.